All right, so going to be talking about another book from my good friend Chris, thank you as always. And today we're talking about Absolute Batman Volume 2, Abomination. The Absolute line is just banging. Let's just be real. It's just completely awesome. And Absolute Batman, I know if you're reading single issues, which, by the way, I read some news today that actually both shocked me in a good way. That being that DC has announced that they're reprinting every single issue so far of Absolute Batman. And not just Absolute Batman, I'm talking the entire Absolute DC universe too. Like the entire Absolute DC line, every single issue is being reprinted because people are coming in to get the single issues. Even like they were talking to one comic store owner. He's like, "Yeah, I'm seeing people I've never met before asking for the Absolute Universe stuff." So I did a short on this not too long ago, talking about how it feels like we're living in a new age of a new golden age of comics. Like the Absolute DC universe has opened the door to like new readers, new lines of stuff, and I have like in my longest life, this must have been like, and I'm going to ask directly to the old timers who watch my channel. Was this what it was like reading comics in the 80s? Like, was this what it was like reading, like this, like people asking for comics? Because like in the 80s, you had Dark Knight Returns, you had Watchmen, you had Chris Claremont's X-Men run, you had Frank Miller's Daredevil. You had like the 80s was the last time we ever had like such a massive epoch of new comic readers and seeing the form in a new light. So it's nice to be part of that. Anyway. So, Batman Abomination, Absolute Batman Abomination continues with the storyline of Bruce trying to figure out what's going on at Arc M. And this basically combines two stories. One, the Abomination storyline, and the other, a two-parter involving the introduction of Absolute Mr. Freeze. And he's terrifying. Like, I didn't like when... I had no love for Scott Snyder's New 52 reboot of Mr. Freeze. I didn't care for it. I'm glad they've moved away from it. But here, it feels like this is what Scott Snyder wanted to really do with Mr. Freeze, because it's not Victor Freeze, it's Victor Freeze Jr. Yeah, Victor and Nora had a kid, and this one is just turns into a Wendigo monster. This comic continues to be a body horror show and just kind of a horror show in general, and I really do love that. I absolutely do love the fact that like this is a comic this is a comic that is completely dark, and there is some edgelord stuff to it, but again, I've talked about this before where I feel like the edgelord stuff doesn't really bother me as it normally would in other comics, because like there's actually like reasons for it. There's actual storytelling there other than, oh, that was cool, I guess. I really also liked, I like Bane in this universe too. I like that introduction of Bane where like Bruce encounters him for the first time and he's just like, it's okay. Come on, you can do this. And like every time Bruce tries to like swing at him, he just like nullifies his limbs. And he's like, come on, you've still got another arm. You got your legs. Yeah. And then when he's like, face me like hand to hand without your venom, and he's like, I haven't even used it, but if you want me to, sure, I'll show you. And we get this. Yeah, I love the moment too where like Bruce just falls on his knees in defeat because he's like, there is no way I could fight that. I will say that it does make me go, okay, really? When Bruce is like locked up in Arc M and he's basically being monitored, and like how they explain how like some of his escape moves is like he rips out his molars and uses them as like sharpened gloves, and like then attaches a like feeding tube into his body so he could spray his stomach acid at people. I'm like, okay, all right, that's a little much, because like that doesn't make any sense, because like Nick Dragotta draws a mean Batman, but he also draws like a Batman in later issues after this escape where Bruce has his teeth back. I don't know. Also, we get little mentions of we get like Clayface. We get a first look at Poison Ivy. Even I forgot about this, but Dick Grayson makes a cameo appearance in here as a EMT. So so I thought that was pretty cool. I also like the overarching story that Bruce is remembering the time he was helping to train Waylon to fight Bippo Babowski, who in this continuity is a fighter for the Falcone family. And what I also like is that while all of Bruce's friends get horribly mangled, I'm not spoiling anything. This storyline's been out for a while. Get horribly mangled. They don't immediately turn on him. Like they become Bane ruins them, turns Waylon into a croc monster, and while they're angry at him, they don't instantly go, "I'm evil." In fact, Eddie, after becoming Riddler, he helps Bruce at the end. Same with Selina, which I'm just going to say, seeing Absolute Selina, I get it, Bruce. I get it. I mean, we all looked at if you functioned on more than one brain cell, you took one look at Absolute Catwoman and let me just show you real fast. You took one look at Absolute Catwoman and went, I get it, Bruce. Damn. But yeah. I really love how many characters are thrown into here, and it feels normal, because this one, while I feel like it's a cool story arc of Batman fighting Bane, this also feels like the real setup for going forward. We get more with Joker, we get all the other villains that are being put into place, all the other characters, and we're basically, this is the real world building part. The first part was the volume 1 was basically a muse-bouche of, shall we say, for the Batman universe. But here, this is where the real world building starts for this universe. The artwork by Nick Dragotta is just awesome. I am not gonna lie. It's just kind of perfect, and it's just all of it, even panel wise, it's great. I also really love that I've said this before, one of the reasons why I think this works better than trying to some people are saying this is a Spawn knockoff, is that Bruce feels pretty human. Bruce, even though he's I'm the goddamn Batman, he's also oh, hey mom, I'm sorry I went missing for a few months. Can I just hold you for a bit? It's stuff like that reminds you that this is still Batman, despite all the edgelord, borderline Night Lord shit that Batman is doing without the skinning people part. It's still a very human Batman. It's a Bruce that just, even Alfred, this version, Alfred says it best in the comic, is that people don't understand why they keep losing to Batman, but I do. They keep fighting to win the fight. Bruce is the fight to him is the fight. He's fighting because he's protecting his city. He's protecting those he loves. People just want to end the fight and go home. He's fighting because there's no other alternative, and that's why he's gonna beat your ass when he's done. So I really liked it. I can't wait to see Volume 3 when we get to Absolute Joker and all of that. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, if you're not reading this series, I mean, I'm sure most of you are, but if you aren't already, go check this comic out. I'm serious. But yeah, the next Absolute comic I will be probably reviewing is my favorite title of the Absolute universe, Absolute Wonder Woman, which I think Chris did say he's sending me that. I think that comes out not this week, but the following week, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, until then, you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of Absolute Batman Volume 2? Did you guys like it, hate it? Comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in Multiverse.